Charles Krauthammer, the conservative commentator who's a Fox News contributor, he was on Fox News, and he basically said that Benghazi is a lost war, so to speak, for conservatives. Let's take a look at the clip.
Politically speaking, the administration has won. They ran out the clock. If we had had a select committee from the beginning, really had coherent hearings, unlike what we've had, which were disjointed hearings that let all things sort of slip away, we really would have been somewhere. We would have gotten to the bottom of this. But as a political fact, this thing is done. And I think right now the best thing for Republicans to do is to look at the broader foreign policy. And that's where you want to hit the administration, not only for political partisan reasons, but for the good of the country. This is really hurting the country. And unfortunately, you only have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of attention, and the clock has run out on Benghazi.
All right, I actually think it's worth giving Krauthammer a little credit there, because he's basically saying whether or not this thing is a scandal, which most people don't on Fox News won't even go that far. He's saying whether or not it's true, we've lost and we have to move on. Is that the sanest thing that has come out of Fox News in a long time?
No, well, it's nice that, you know, it's starting to happen a little more often that on Fox News they have to debunk their own, like say, hey, we're done with this now. Like even Chris Wallace said to Paul Ryan last week when he said, now part of your budget, which they just passed, by the way, in the House, Paul Ryan's budget, Chris Wallace said, you know, part of your budget now, is it involve repealing Obamacare for it to work? And he goes, yes. And Chris Wallace says, well, that's not going to happen. So it's, you know, when it gets so bad, this is what I'm talking about. Like, who are they still convincing? You're only talking to people who are already going to vote for you anyway. When Lindsey Graham brings up Benghazi, you know, when Donald Trump does the thing about the birth certificate, you're only stirring up people who are already going to vote for you, and you're losing everybody else. And Charles Krauthammer, who, by the way, has been wrong about everything since 1973.
Every single thing?
Yeah, every single thing. Even he has to call this stuff out. So that's a good sign. When you say it's a good sign that every once in a while reality creeps in to the right-wing fact-free bubble, and it's beautiful when it happens. And the only time that they can tell, the only reason he's going to tell the truth about this is because it helps them politically to tell the truth right now and stop this shit. He is incapable of telling the truth when it doesn't fit his ideological partisan bias.
Right. Well, interestingly, not all the politicians on his side of the aisle agree with him, because they're still pushing for more investigations and things like that. So who do you agree with here? Should we be gracious in someone actually saying it's time to let this thing go?
I don't know. I just want to get to the bottom of Benghazi. I mean, what happened over there?
Yeah. We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out.
But I want to get to the bottom of Benghazi right after we get to the bottom of Whitewater.
Yes.
I mean,
what else is on that list?
Yeah, I mean, let's really, I mean, and Vince Foster, I mean, how did he die?
How did he die?
Yeah,
it's mysterious.
Total bullshit. I mean, we got to get to the bottom of that. What he's really saying is there's new false controversies to focus on, and newer, more topical fake scandals. Yes. So let's focus on that and leave this one alone. That's
Why
what
don't we
he's really
pretend that extending the date line to sign up for Obamacare is actually a bad thing? Yeah. Let's pretend that giving health care to people who previously didn't have it is a bad thing.
Well, he was talking about, I think, the international stuff, which maybe he has some point on as far as some of the things that we've done internationally that aren't really working, like this killings still going on in Syria, Middle East peace talks falling apart, everything going on in Russia. So maybe there's some, am I being too kind to, you're looking at me like I'm being too kind to Krauthammer.
No, I'm actually with you on Krauthammer. Look, I agree with you that he's been wrong, or at least I disagree with him on many issues. However, I will say that Krauthammer, to me, is definitely one of the smarter guys on the right. Like Brian Kilmeade, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, these guys are just idiots, just complete, utter idiots. Krauthammer, I think, has an ounce of intelligence. And even if I disagree with him, I like to hear what he has to say.
Did you know that Krauthammer recently, like within the last month or so, came out as an atheist? Did you know that? Which is not easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
On that and be on that network,
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow, what is going on with Chase? Did he get a diagnosis? Is he dying? Is there blood in his toilet this morning? Why is he doing this?
Well, he does.